Hello students, good morning. Today we will continue our chapter, that is chapter 4, Animal Kingdom. In the last class I have given you the introduction about this kingdom. Today we will see how broadly the animal kingdom classified into different phylums. So these are the basic characteristic features I have already told you in my last class, but here we can understand through this flowchart. So let's see what are the characters which divides the different animals into different category or into different phylums. First, kingdom. As we are studying about kingdom Animalia, so this is Animalia. Animalia kingdom is divided into different phylums regarding to levels of organization, symmetry, body cavity or coelom, and phylum. Next, animal kingdom has the level of organization is different. Either it is cellular level, tissue level, organ level or organ system level. Means the organisms that are placed in the animal kingdom show different organ levels of organization, that are cellular, tissue, organ or organ system. Again, cellular level is the level of organization. It has no symmetry, no body cavity. Then go to phylum. It comes or it seems in the species of phylum Porifera. We will study later phylum Porifera. Next, Animalia kingdom has the tissue or organ system level of organization is comes. Again it divide into two types. One is radial symmetrical and another is bilaterally symmetrical. As I have told you again, radial symmetrical is the type of symmetry in which if the organism is separated or cut into any plane, it gives two equal halves. And this type of symmetry is shown by the species of phylum Coelenterata, which is also called Cnidaria, and Ctenophora. Cnidaria, Coelenterata or Ctenophora, the species who show radial type of symmetry. Next is your bilateral symmetrical. So which animals show this type of symmetry? The animals show bilaterally symmetrical or bilateral symmetry are the coelomates, means who have coelom, means true cavity. They are Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. Here Echinodermata, some species of Echinodermata shows both type of symmetry, means bilateral as well as radial. That's why they are removed from this classification system, but still I placed here for your understand. Next, according to coelom, coelom means cavity, whether the organism has body cavity present or not. On this basis, the organism is again divided into acoelomate, means no coelom or not coelom, or no body cavity is present, that is Platyhelminthes. The species of Platyhelminthes have no body cavity. Then pseudocoelomate means coelom is present but in the form of scattering inside the body, in the form of scattering. They are not true coeloms. When cavity is required by that organism, it produces the cavity. That's why it is called pseudocoelomate. And this type of arrangement is seen in the species of Aschelminthes. Next, coelomate. Under coelomate, these phylums are come like your annelids, arthropods, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. So this is how the animal kingdom is classified. First phylum of animal kingdom we will study, or we are going to study, is your phylum Porifera. So like plants, the phylum we will study is Porifera. Like plants, when we divide different divisions of plant, we studied their habitat, mode of nutrition, mode of reproduction. Here we will study their level of organization. As we know, Porifera come under cellular level of organization, so its level of organization is cellular level, and its habitat is completely aquatic. Most of the species present in marine water, means in the ocean or in salty water, marine, and some of the species found in fresh water. The species of this phylum is commonly called sponge. Commonly called sponge. So what are their characters? How they look? They are look like, you can see, sponges are look like this. They have spicules on their body. This is sponge. The sponge is, it has no structure, no shape, a proper shape. It has spongin fibers or spicules. So let's see how this organism completes its life cycle. So first, as we know, porifera. Pori means holes or pores. Holes or pores. The organisms placed in this phylum contains or have holes or pores. Through holes, when water enters through these holes or pores, they retain the nutrient oxygen from water, and after that they transfer it to the spongiocells. Or these holes can be called as ostia. Ostia, and after entering the water through ostia, it goes towards the spongiocele, which acts as a canal system like this. Water passes through it, and during its passing, the nutrients it is take, and then the choanocyte cells are present, which covers the sponge. Choanocyte cells are present along its, all along its body, so it helps in the, or protects the species of porifera. They bear some spines, which is called spongin fibers. Spongin fibers. Next, their reproduction. They reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by forming gametes. Fertilization is internal. Internal means when male and female gametes fuse inside the body of that organism, that is called internal fertilization. So another character is internal fertilization. Development is indirect. Indirect means, suppose in case of human beings give birth directly to a human child, but in case of this species, means the species of porifera, development is indirect, means the growth takes place through a larval stage, and that larva has no resemblance with the adult. Means when the larva grows, it converted into adult, at that time it matches with the parent. Otherwise, during larval stage, it can't be differentiated, or it can't be matched with the species of porifera. So this is how the organism porifera described.